Welcome back to Be.Live. Be yourself and live your purpose. The podcast where we explore real, honest growth through every season of life. I'm your host, Roca Cruz, and this is episode 3. Today, we're talking about something deeply personal: change. The kind of change that unsettles your routines, shakes your sense of control, and challenges you thought you were. Whether it's a shift in career, relationships, health, or identity, change is never just about what's happening around you. It's about what's happening within you. So let's recap episode 2. Last time we explored how to overcome self-doubt and build confidence. We talked about rewriting negative self-talk, affirming our worth daily, and celebrating even the smallest wins. Journaling was also a key takeaway, a private space to reflect, reframe, and reset. If you missed that episode, go back and listen when you can. It sets a good foundation for today. Change. Change doesn't ask permission. Change interrupts. Change arrives without warning, without a roadmap. And often it brings discomfort, uncertainty, and even grief. But what if we began to see change not as the end of something, but as the beginning of becoming? Take a moment to think about a change you're currently facing. What emotions come with it? What stories are you telling yourself about this change? And most importantly, how can this be a moment of redirection, not just disruption? Change is very necessary. You know why? Change pushes us to confront what no longer serves us. It reveals what we've outgrown and asks us to become more honest about our needs, our purpose, and our truth. We often stay in places of our comfort long after they stop being good for us. But growth doesn't live in comfort. It lives in movement. It lives in letting go. One of my favorite reminders comes from George Bernard Shaw. Progress is impossible without change, and those who cannot change their minds cannot change anything. To evolve, we must be willing to release not just the old version of our lives, but the old version of ourselves. So that's a powerful quote from George Bernard Shaw. There are strategies to embrace change. Here are a few. Number 1, acknowledge your emotions. Give yourself full permission to feel everything. The fear, your resistance to change, the reason why you're resistant to change, sadness, relief. Change is emotional. You don't have to be strong all the time. Number 2, focus on what you can control. In moments of upheaval, anchor yourself in what's in your reach. Like your choices, your perspective, the small steps you take. Those are the things you can control. Number 3, stay open. Even if the path isn't clear yet, stay curious. Change may reveal opportunities of strength you never knew you had. Number 4, create a simple plan. Break the transition into manageable steps. Action creates clarity. Even small progress. Can rebuild momentum. So when you're going through a change and you're feeling scared, focus on what you can control, the things that you can do each day, your choices, the words you speak. Take the small step and stay open. Stay open to the change. Stay curious of what's happening. And then create a simple plan. It creates clarity and makes you move forward. Now, during change, you need to be resilient. And you need to build resilience during this change. Connect with support. Don't go through this alone. Lean on people who see you clearly and remind you of your strength when you forget. Establish routines during this transition. When everything else is shifting, structure helps. Small daily habits like sleeping early, morning reflection, prayer, movement, a consistent routine can ground you. And then celebrate small wins. Each step forward counts. Don't minimize what you're overcoming, even if no one else sees it. It's like patting yourself at the back, or when you weren't afraid 1 minute and you're at peace, celebrate it. And then also journaling. Journaling is very important. We'll always talk about this. And here are some questions. Well, going through change, what you can write down. Journaling is writing your thoughts. It's different with just thinking your thoughts, okay? Use journaling for clarity. Here are some questions you can ask yourself while journaling. What is changing in my life right now, and how do I truly feel about it? Okay, you write it down. Or what am I afraid of letting go? Okay, here's another question you can write and ask yourself while journaling. What's one small action I can take this week? So journaling isn't about solving everything. It's about staying connected to yourself while changing. It's staying connected to yourself in the process. Here's story time. I'll tell you a story about Nilyn's journey. Nilyn is 34 years old. She's single and a system analyst who spent years carrying unspoken trauma. She survived verbal abuse growing up, and she has this pain that made her shrink into silence and question her worth, even as she built a successful career. One evening, feeling overwhelmed by years of emotional exhaustion, she realized she needed to change. She opened her notebook and wrote, "I don't want to feel invisible anymore. I don't want to be a victim anymore." That moment of truth changed everything. Through journaling, she began to release pain she had buried for decades. She even reached out to a therapist, some of her closest friends, and began setting boundaries. She found support through a survivor support group, and most importantly, she began to believe that she deserved more than just survival. She deserved peace. But her healing wasn't linear. But with every word she wrote, every word she confessed, she began reclaiming the power that was taken away from her. Today, Nilyn is still healing, but now she's doing it on her own terms. And she wants us to know change may be hard, but staying stuck, staying like a victim, staying invisible is harder. So change doesn't mean losing yourself. Sometimes it's how you finally come home to who you really are. Let this be a moment where you give yourself permission to start again with softness, honesty, and strength. Let's do breathing exercises with deep thoughts. Let's inhale. Exhale slowly. Inhale. Exhale. Think about this. What transition are you facing right now? Inhale. Exhale. How are you choosing to walk through it? Inhale. Exhale. Or think about something you want to change in your life, that you're willing to change no matter what it costs. And be yourself. Inhale. Exhale. I'd love to hear your story. Share with me on our social pages or message me directly. Let's grow through this together. Thank you for tuning in to Be.Live. Be yourself and live your purpose. If this episode moved you, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with someone who needs it. And remember, keep believing, keep growing, and keep living your purpose. Next week, we're diving into the power of discovering your core values, how they guide your direct decisions, protect your peace, and shape the life you truly want. Don't miss it!